In today's tutorial, I'm going to be sharing with you how I made the design, the headwear design I displayed at the beginning of this video. So these are the materials I'm going to be using for this project. I have my ashoke. This is ashoke. It's called top clothes in English. And I have my wadding. This is wadding. It is also called felt. Okay. In place of wadding, you can use scuba. Yes, when we get there, you understand what we'll be doing with this. In addition to that, we'll be needing a Velcro tape, or also called plaster. The design is divided into two parts. That's as usual, the cap, base, and the design. So I'm going to be showing you at first how to make the turban cap base using ashoke. It's going to be a pleated turban base. So any type of base you want to make, just follow this technique I'm going to be showing you. All right, once you know the technique, you should be able to create any other type of turban base. All right, so I have my ashoke and I have half bundle. Half bundle is about 4 layers, 4 awe. We call it awe here in Nigeria, or in Yoruba land we call it awe. So it's layer, one layer is about 90 inches long, while the width of this ashoke is about 6 inches. So with me is my measuring tape. I didn't mention this earlier, I'm sorry. So I have my, okay, this is about 6.5 inches. Some ashoke come with a width of 6 inches, some up to 7, even some up to 8. And I have my ashoke cut out. The measurement I'll be using is 26 inches. So I've joined the 3 pieces of ashoke and I folded in the edges and I've sewn it. So it depends on the type of base you want to make. If you're making a pleated base, just go ahead and pleat like an autogile base. Fold this in first by 1 inch. Now I've pleated it, as you can see, and this is what we have. Side, remember this is where we folded in earlier, so that's the wrong side, and this is the right side, and we're going to fold in this way. I'm going to measure from the front. This is going to be the front of the cap, so I'm going to measure about 4 inches from here, just 4 inches this way, and I'm going to sew from here. I'll sew from here like this and come this way and sew and stop right here. You know, because it is ashoke, we're not going to be doing the curve that we normally do. But if you want to, you can go ahead and do this curve, but you'd have done that before you now take it to a serger to overlock the edges. You understand? But I won't be cutting that shape out. I'll just sew this way. I can just do the curve right here, but I won't be cutting it out, and sew up to this point. Okay, now I've sewn it, as you can see, and look at where I stop. Make sure you stitch it very well right here. So I just continue to sew like that. Can you see I did a curve here like that? I sew it up to this point. So this is going to serve as the ease allowance at the back. So make sure you stitch, double stitch this part very well to keep it in place. I'm going to do that. And this part, I'm going to leave it like that. I won't cut it off, okay? So after doing that, I'm going to start sewing my loose stitches. So when I get to this point, I'm going to pull to form gathers. And I'm going to tack it there. Please don't make this part too tight. I'm not going to make this part too tight. I mean the gathers, I won't make it too tight because the depth of my own turban is not too much. So I'll just release it a little. I'll release it a little. I tack it right here. I tack it right here. Then I back stitch, just like we do, all right, when making turbans. So I'll just back stitch. Then when I get here, this part that I have, I just fold it in like that. I just roll it like that and tack. I don't want to cut that part off. If you want to cut that shape out, you can go ahead and do that, but you need to use a serger to seal the raw edges. So I'll just take my needle and thread through like that back stitch, and we'll continue from there. It's ready. So I turn it inside out. This is what we have. So I have this opening here so that it will be easier for us to wear it on our head. So as we proceed, we're going to be having what we'll be using to fasten this up as time goes on. So the next step is for us to make our design, and our design is divided into two parts. So for the twisted part, this is going to be on top of the cap. I have two pieces of ashoke cut out, and the measurements of each of them, I'm using 21 inches. 21 inches in two places. Remember that the breadth or the width of our ashoke remains 6.5 inches. So I placed on top of each other, and I'm going to sew, after which I'm going to fold in the edge by half, fold again by another half, and sew. I'll do this on this other side, and we'll continue from there. Now I've sewn my piece of ashoke, as you can see, and measure. So I have 12.5 inches by 19 inches, okay, and that's the measurement I'm using. You need to increase the length of this particular piece of ashoke, you understand? For an head circumference of 24-25 inches, I use 19 inches for mine. You need to make yours up to about 23 inches. I'm going to place it like this. This now becomes the wrong side of the ashoke piece, and I'm just going to place my wording on it like this. If you can hire your wording to stick to your ashoke, it's fine, but if not, just place it on like this, then turn it upside down, fold in half. You sew from here to this end. So I've sewn it, as you can see, and I'm going to turn the right side out like this. I brought the seam to the center like this. So I'm going to get my needle and thread ready, and from here I'm going to roll my piece of fabric. I secure with needle and thread. Like that. I roll and I tack. So I'm just going to go ahead and tack like that from here to here and from here this way. Okay, I want to show you how sewing the ends together, just in case you didn't see it earlier. Like I'm doing hemming. Look at it, see where the thread is. I take my needle through like this, like that. Just pick like that, like I'm hemming. Can you see the way I'm hemming it? If you look closely, you understand what I did. Can you see? Cut it right there. So the next step is to cut out two small pieces. Okay, I'm going to be using to attach my Velcro tape, and the measurement this way. Look at the way I'm measuring. The width of the ashoke is 6.5 inches, so I'm going to leave it like that. Then from here, where we have the raw edges, I'll measure about 5.5 inches, and I'm going to cut it out in two places. So I'm doing this in 2 places. Okay, and I'm going to fold this way, sew from this end to this other end, the same way I'll do on this, and I'll turn it inside out, then we'll continue from there. Now the pieces are ready, as you can see, and I'm going to bring the seam. I've turned them inside out, I've brought out the right side out, and I brought the seam to the center. Okay, and we're going to attach our Velcro tape. Now our Velcro tape is here, look at it, and the measurement is about 4 inches. The length of our piece of fabric is about 6.5 inches. Okay, we need that extra, that allowance for us to fix it to our design. Okay, so I'm going to place my Velcro tape on this part of the piece. Can you see? I'll just sew this up, then sew here, sew like this, and sew like this on it. So I have this extra allowance to fix it to my design. I'll repeat the same on the second. My Velcro tape sewn to my pieces of ashoke, as you can see. So the next step is for us to fix it to the end of this design. So I'm just going to fold it in by 1/2 inch. I'm going to tuck this in right here. This is going to be facing down, so just target it to make sure that the Velcro tape is also facing down. So this is going to be sitting here. We're going to get the midpoint. This is the midpoint. You can mark it. And we'll also get the midpoint of our cap. This is the center. So we're going to attach this here. Okay. Work with your own head measurement. This works exactly for me. All right, so after doing that, the next step is to create ruffles to attach to one side of this cap. And for my pieces of ashoke, I'm going to cut out about 4 pieces, all right, of ashoke. 3 of these pieces will be 18 inches, while the 4th one will be 20 inches. So I'm doing 18 inches in 3 places, and I'll do 20 inches. I'll do 20 inches in 1 place. So I have my 4 pieces sewn, as you can see. This is the one of 18 inches, and by the time I folded the edges and sew, it has reduced to 16 inches. This is one of 20 inches. It has reduced to 18 inches. So this is what we're going to be doing on all the pieces. Whatever I'm doing on this is what I'm doing on others. All right. You can fold into 2 this way. And I'm going to sew loose stitches from this end to the other end. So I've gotten to the other end, and I'm going to pull to form gathers, and I'll tie it. I've tacked, as you can see. I'll bring the end together. Just make sure you arrange, then you tack like that. Can you see? So this is the one of the 20 inches, and it's where I'm going to be starting my arrangement with. So I'll place this facing this way, and I'm going to tack together. And the next one comes this way. Print this one as well. You can squeeze it up and place it right here. Back. So I'm going to tack this down to my turban cap.